It's Sunday morning, which means it's Eagles-Browns preview. But before I get to that, I want to take the time to dedicate the following video to my cousin Madeline DePaula, who tragically lost her battle with COVID-19 earlier this week. Madeline was a huge, lifelong Philadelphia Eagles fan, residing in Philly and being a veteran of Temple Hospital. The world lost an incredible life, and she will definitely be missed. Rest in peace, Madeline. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Eagles News Now. I'm professional wrestler Chris Wilde, live from bar 4133, and we are just hours away from the Philadelphia Eagles facing the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. And I don't know about you guys, but this season, it just feels like, at least for me, walking into the ring against Braun Strowman and getting my ass thrown out time after time after time. But I keep coming back for more. Definitely got to have a love for this team to watch every snap as we do every game this year. And it has just been one of the worst seasons I can remember as an Eagles fan. And last week topped it off as the Eagles lost to the New York Giants, one of the ugliest games I've seen. And look, it's getting hard to blame these losses on injuries as we come into Week 11 with the Eagles getting healthier. As Isaac Seumalo has been activated off IR, he returns to the offensive line. And what is their ninth version of this offensive line this year? It's absolutely insane that I'm sitting up here saying that, but it is what it is. We all know they got Dallas Goedert back. They got Jalen Reagor back, Miles Sanders back, Malik Jackson back. Look, it's the time for those excuses are over. It comes down to the coaching and these guys just to execute. Now, I speak about coaching, and as reported yesterday, Aaron Moorhead and Press Taylor will be staying in Philly, not traveling with the team. Aaron Moorhead, I think, one of the better coaches on this staff as a wide receiver coach, and Press Taylor, who I honestly don't think very highly of, will not be in Carson Wentz's ear, in his helmet, as that's the voice that Carson has heard all season. That's significant. Doug Peterson instead will be communicating with Carson Wentz. And I hope he communicates more than he has. I mean, Carson Wentz is one of the only quarterbacks that when you see on the sideline after a drive, successful or not, does not seem to be talking to any coaches. So hopefully, that changes. I don't know, it's Week 11, but hopefully that changes. And speaking of Week 11, isn't it hard to believe that the Eagles have not won an afternoon game this year? Every game that they have won, and there hasn't been a lot of them, but the games they've won have been at nighttime. So the Eagles have to prove today that they're not the NFL's version of Gangrel and come up with a win today. It's going to be hard as they face a pretty good Browns football team. These are not your father's Browns. They're 6-3. I think they have a very talented offense led by Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That is definitely, with the weather conditions looking to be sloppy, absolutely horrible, is going to be a runner's football game. Now, Doug Peterson, last week, if he just would have continued to run the ball, Miles Sanders looked awesome coming back from injury. Even Boston Scott had a huge run. For whatever reason, Doug Peterson took the ball out of both those guys' hands, did not run the ball, was not creative. I could go on and on and on, but if there's any game to run the football, it is this game. My key to winning this game, guys, is Miles Sanders. Now, when Miles Sanders is healthy and looking like he did last week, he's an absolute stud. Probably the best offensive player. No, he is the best offensive player on this football team. The ball has got to be in this guy's hands. You've got to come up with better runs and a better scheme to showcase Miles Sanders' talent, and I think he is the best shot of winning this football game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, on the other side, you've got Nick Chubb, second game back from injury, who's an absolute monster. The Eagles have not been great against the run. They've given up a lot of yards to wide receivers and quarterbacks, but this is the week that they could get absolutely slashed by not only Nick Chubb, but Kareem Hunt. As the Browns, they run the football really, really well. At quarterback is Baker Mayfield. I've never really been a Baker Mayfield fan, but he has handled his business this year. Jarvis Landry at wide receiver is versatile. He's fast. He can also throw the football. They like to do a lot of creative stuff with this set of offensive playmakers, which means Jim Schwartz is going to have to wake up out of hibernation and come up with some kind of defensive scheme to stop these guys. I believe the Eagles have a good defensive line. They just haven't showed it hardly at all this year. And I know what you're going to tell me is they're like number 2 in the league in sacks. I understand that. But it just when it is third and long, when it's third and short, they just don't show up on those money downs. And they're going to have to do it this week, again, if they have any shot of winning. Now, they don't get to see the Eagles' offense. Luckily, does not get to see the NFL's best defensive player, as Myles Garrett was ruled out because he tested positive to COVID-19. Big prayers go out to Myles Garrett and his family that he recovers very quickly. But look, it's a sigh of relief for an Eagles offensive line, like I said, which is in its 9th version. And Jason Peters would have gotten harassed to where it was probably almost be illegal by Myles Garrett. So I'm sure Carson Wentz is glad to hear that he doesn't have to face a guy with 9.5 sacks and 4 forced fumbles. And I'm sure Jason Peters can breathe a sigh of relief too. But like I said, the rest of this Browns defense is not bad. They've actually been pretty decent. So again, it's just going to be an uphill battle for the Eagles once again this week. Now, can the Eagles win? I feel like I say this every week. Sure, they can win. The talent is there. It just comes... Look, Doug Peterson has been one of the worst coaches after a bye. We're used to Andy Reid. Andy Reid is one of the best off of a bye. Doug Peterson is now 1-4 off of a bye. He's been absolutely horrible, which is tough to believe when you have that extra week to prepare for a team. Look, he said in an interview after the game he was pissed off. Brandon Graham said that they had sloppy practice habits that were not being corrected during the game. Carson Wentz with his I got to do better, I got to be better speech that he does every single week. Look, we're tired of hearing it. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. The words of a very great man. It is enough. Enough of the talk. Go out there and prove it. Prove to me that you're pissed off. Prove to me that you're going to be better. And look, if Carson Wentz comes out and stinks it up again, as much as a Carson Wentz fan as I am, look, it might be time to put the kid in the game. Hopefully, I don't have to say that this week. But we'll see, guys. My prediction, I think that the Eagles show more fight. Actually, they didn't show any fight last week, so I think they show fight this week. But I don't know if it's enough. I think the Browns win by 4 or 5 points. But I think the Eagles do at least show some promise. And it sucks because if the Eagles could come away with this victory, it would definitely help them in that NFC East standings after giving up a game to the Giants last week. That's all I got for you guys today. Look, I say this, and it's not a tagline. I'm serious. Please be safe out there, guys. Stay healthy. Love your loved ones. You never know when your last day is going to be. As I said in the intro to this video, I lost a cousin to COVID-19 this week, and it's always been real to me, but it definitely becomes more real when it hits home. So yeah, definitely, guys, just please stay safe out there as we all are struggling to deal with what is an insane year in our history as human beings. So look, guys, hopefully it's a better game than last week. Go Birds. I'll see you later. E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! I need Eagle Nation to stand